Hi, it's Rick Ginelli, chef at the Lanham Club. I thought maybe we'd try something a little different this week. I'm going to show you how to do a very simple marsala sauce. This can be done with any protein, any mushrooms that you like. Very straightforward, very simple, folks. You want to start by 2 pork canales here that I have for you. I'm going to lightly season them both with salt and pepper. Whenever you season stuff, you definitely want to do both sides. I like my meat seasoned on both sides. It tastes a lot better. So again, lightly seasoned with salt and pepper. At that point, you're going to dust it with flour. This is just all-purpose flour. You don't want a heavy coat, just enough to help it brown and help thicken your sauce at the end. I'm going to take a very hot pan. I'm going to add a little bit of vegetable oil to the pan. Probably about an ounce, maybe 2. I'm going to shake off any excess flour I have on the pork, and I'm going to put it in the pan. As you can see, the pan is hot. It starts sizzling right away. You always want to start with a hot pan. Now this is going to take probably 2 minutes or so per side, depending on how hot your range is. And at this point, I really don't have a whole lot to say. However, again, you just want to get a light color on it. As you can see, it's already starting to brown. It doesn't take long. So at this point, it's brown on one side. I'm going to turn the meat over. At this point, I'm going to add prosciutto to the pan. You want this to brown a little bit as well, and this is just a prosciutto di Parma, small diced. It helps flavor the sauce tremendously. Don't be afraid if your pan gets dry to add a little bit more oil. I am going to do that this time. As you can see, the meat has browned well on both sides. I'm going to remove that from the pan. I don't want to overcook it because they're so thin. Pork gets fried out if you cook it too long. I'm going to wait for another 30 seconds until this prosciutto caramelizes a little bit more. The browner this gets, the more flavorful it will become. It does become a little salty, so be careful. I would not add salt to this dish until you're done, other than on the meat, just to make sure it's not too salty for your liking. So as you can see, that's fairly brown at this point. I'm going to remove this from the pan. So I want to get a nice hard sear on my mushrooms. I'm going to use the same pan. I'm going to add a little bit more olive oil, or vegetable oil, whichever you have. And you want this pan to get hot again. At this point, I'm going to add our mushrooms. Now, mushrooms are a funny thing. They do have a lot of water in them. I do not ever salt my mushrooms if I want to get any color on them. And once they're in the pan, let them be. Do not try and move them too much. All about color. Whenever you're sauteing something, the browner something is, the more flavor we'll have. All the sugars caramelize on the outside, whether it be meat, prosciutto, or mushrooms, any vegetable. As you can see, they're starting lightly brown. Now this pan is screaming hot. At this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the meat back into the pan, the prosciutto back into the pan. Add some Marsala wine. It's about 4 ounces of Marsala. One thing you need to be careful of, obviously, when you're cooking with wine, it'll tend to flare up on you. So do yourself a favor, always pull it off the heat first, add your wine, and then return it to the stove. See how you get a little bit of flame? Just want to be aware of that. You should. Whenever you're cooking with any wine, you always want to make sure that the wine is completely reduced prior to adding any other ingredients. You want to use it for the acidity and the flavor, not for the alcohol content. Now, in the essence of time, I have a second pan here to try and maximize my time. I'm going to dump this into a really hot pan so that the wine reduces quickly. Again, you want to wait this until it comes almost to dry. it'll make it so much tastier for you. You won't have that astringent flavor of the wine. As you can see, it's almost gone. There may be 1 ounce of wine left in that pan. I'm gonna wait another 30 seconds. You'll notice any caramelization on the pan from the meat, from the prosciutto. Get that off the pan, that's flavor. So my wine is evaporated. At this point, I'm gonna add some chicken stock. This is probably maybe 2 ounces of chicken stock. And I'm also going to add some demi. This is demi-glaze. We make this here. You can buy demi-glaze in the store. Oftentimes you'll find it in the freezer section. You can also buy a powder that you just add water to, which is actually pretty good. Now this is pretty much done. I'm going to let this simmer for just a couple minutes until it gets thick and as a sauce consistency. It will take a minute or two. And again, you always want to try it. Just for salt, because the prosciutto is salty. It definitely doesn't need any more salt. And there you have it, folks. Pork marsala. You can use any protein you like. It's great with veal, it's great with chicken. It's even good with shrimp. As far as what you want to serve with it, the possibilities are endless. Try something different. Buy some greens. Put it over some greens, some fresh bok choy, or even some dandelion greens would be fantastic. You can use pasta. You can use whatever you like. I want to thank you again, and good luck and God bless.